Welcome back to the ESL ESEA Pro League Finals. Of course, I'm still here, joined by Natu, and we're still kind of going through what the hell happened in that pick and ban, map veto phase, because we're kind of unsure if this was a great idea from Virtus Pro almost. Their form has been a little hit and miss, as you kind of discovered.
Yeah, I mean, the past, the best way is to look at the past 10 cobblestones they've played, and the VP's record is 4 wins and 6 losses. Obviously, they've won to good teams, good cobble teams, such as and Navi, but still, there are maps that they're better at, definitely.
For sure, and I think the Luminosity kind of came into this, from what at least I can gather, having an idea of what map pool they would have wanted and kind of not necessarily forcing the hand of Virtus Pro, but guiding it towards maybe one of these maps, your overpass, your cobblestones. So I think this is the best chance we're going to see. If Luminosity are ever going to cause a bit of an upset here or are actually going to achieve anything, I think they've got a pretty good chance for a good start here. But what do you think the defining factors are really for Virtus Pro to perform on this map?
For me, like looking at this map in general, for me, how it came down to that, it has to be a matter of just having the confidence against any NA team, to be honest with you, where it could turn into an overconfidence too, and that's never a good thing. But we never know. The past few days might have been where they found all the magic, as you can see. Taz there,
very intense,
staring into our souls.
I thought it was Forest for a second with that Forest stare, but Taz got this.
Yeah,
he really doesn't blink, does he? That's kind of impressive. Well, let's hope he can be as intense and focused in game as he is right now. Hopefully he can transfer that. This is really quite worrying. Exactly, like Neo knows what's up. Like that's not normal, man. But still,
Taz last weekend at Gfinity was actually very good. From what I saw, and I hope he carries on that form, and then the rest of his team picks it up a bit, and we'll see a good Virtus Pro here, giving us good matches.
Well, that's the big thing, isn't it? If we talk through the performance, I think there was a couple of people pointing out actually that Pasha's had not necessarily a slump, but he's slowed down a little on the performing side, and other players are starting to pick up their form. Bialy and Snacks have always been pretty solid, but you look at Neo, his performance alone on Train recently has been astounding. He's really starting to find form. Taz not doing too badly for himself, but it's for me, I just want to see how well Pasha now plays in this one. I want to see him having a good tournament here. Lex looking pretty chilled out so far, and there we go. So you can see Snacks is pretty solid. I just feel he's always going to be pretty well-rounded as a player. So we'll have to see what he can bring here. And who's your standout players that you want to keep your eyes on from maybe both sides?
Well, when looking at VP, definitely I think Pasha's been lacking lately. His level of consistency has not just been there. He's peaking high, but he's really going down low as well. So really looking for a more consistent performance out of him. And when it comes down to Luminosity, I think definitely Anger was a talking point on the desk, and he's a guy with a lot of talent. I know he's a great aimer, and just when he's on point, he's really good. But like it's been said, has a tendency of not showing up when it comes to offline events, and the team can't afford that kind of thing happening. They need to have him, Pith obviously as well. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of things has he brought into that team when it comes to mentality, communication, and just the whole structure of the team, and how do they really play on those key 3-on-3 situations where it all comes down to reading situations correctly and stuff like that. So those would be my picks.
Yeah, I think I'm completely with you on the Anger choice there as well. He's a big factor in this one, considering, when I was talking to them, he is defined as their entry fragger, essentially. That's a lot of pressure to have. If you're not performing, you are missing quite a lot of what you bring to the plate throughout your normal regular season. So as you can see, he's right there on the screen. He looks pretty ready for this. But, as a player, if you get a stigma around you, not performing well on lands, if you're not, finding that same comfort, does it ever get in your head, do you think? Or do you think these guys by now can kind of overcome that?
That's a very individual thing between one player to another, how he reacts to pressure and different environment and how you play. I think Anger is a guy who's got a lot of matches and tournaments on his belt. He's been around, played for teams that have traveled internationally, played a lot of international teams, so I don't think it should be a problem for him anymore. But he's not proving otherwise. He's been struggling for sure. For players in general, it's fair enough if when you're in your first few events, it might be a problem for you, getting over those jitters and stuff like that. But I think it's something that shakes off eventually when you just got enough matches, and you can put yourself in a state where the pressure is only just going to make you play that much better instead of being a hindrance.
Yeah, and talking about in-game leaders, we kind of switch over to that sort of topic. While these guys are just warming up, they want to make sure everything's ready, of course. Peter, now in-game leading for Luminosity, he's kind of, I think, stuck that role for quite some time. He's been doing in-game leading as a collective. And is there anything that stands out to you about in-game leaders that defines one from the other? Is it the mentality? Is it their role in games? We know Peter is a very, very defined AWP, but he doesn't really excel in other roles. That's what he likes to do. Does it lend to the in-game leading role? Does it take away? Does it not really matter to it?
It can really matter to an extent where you're not always going to be able to really focus on, especially opping is so much heavily, you got to be focused on your crosshair and what's happening on your screen. So that could be a distraction from it. I've seen examples throughout time of players that can do it effectively, but I think it definitely does take a little bit away from his individual play. For me, in-game leaders, I think the most important factor really for in-game leader is to have a good self-confidence, to always be confident in what you're saying, how you say it, body language, all those kind of things have a big effect on how your players are going to react to what you're saying and how much they trust what you're saying. So, I don't really have a lot of experience of seeing Peter being an in-game leader and how he is. Obviously, you only see that really when you're playing with someone. So we'll see here, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to find out pretty soon, I can imagine. And on the other side of the coin, of course, we're going to have Snacks picking up the in-game leading role from Taz. Something that I only found out a couple of days ago, just having a little chat with Taz, just saying that they wanted to have more of, a looser style. Taz was quite strict with the way he wanted to in-game lead, and he thought maybe to switch things up, refresh the team. And, I think considering, Nip had a little change around recently of in-game leaders as well. Get Right took over that role for a very short period. Is it quite nice to have, a refreshing time almost for some of these in-game leaders exist? Can they get worn down sometimes and need a little bit of perspective changed? Can it just really help out the team?
Yeah, definitely. You said it right. That's definitely what it's about. It's about getting refreshed and sort of finding new ideas and looking at the game from a different angle when you don't have to be making the calls. So that's like picking your brain and just refreshing everything, because it can get stale, obviously, after a while. For an IP, Access has been doing it for the longest time. So there's obviously going to be a moment where you're just going to sort of run out of ideas and sort of need to just breathe in for a while and see what other people think, because there's always going to be those personal preferences and things you see just the way you see them, and it's always going to be good to see some fresh breath of air when someone else is calling.
It certainly will be, and that's what's making me really interested in this form of Virtus Pro, and hopefully they come into this actually looking quite relaxed. They look pretty calm on this one, and I really want to see how much Snacks can make an impact, how they're playing. Does it really switch up their style? Does it make them change how they approach very specific rounds? It's something we're going to have to look at here, because I obviously wasn't looking out for it prior to this event.
Yeah, Cbble being a perfect map for that too. It's a lot of pick and play kind of a map where things are. It's a lot about having people making openings instead of really set strategies working for you. And I think that you were talking about being more loose. I think Cobblestone is a map where that can be displayed very, very well.
Well, I think the teams are getting ready for the knife, so we aren't far away from getting this one started. Once again, apologies, it was a little late on the go, but we will be ready very, very soon. And how important is CT to T side on this map? Is it something that's a massive factor? Is it not so much? How do you feel? Because I know that Devilwalk says he quite likes the T side of this map. Is it something that you agree to?
I agree, definitely. It's a weird map in a sense where you can see teams going 12-3 on both sides. I think that's what he said, and I agree with him. Definitely, I prefer starting on T side here, and really. Definitely, if you win the first few rounds, it's when the pressure gets on. Your opponents are going to easily start over-rotating, and you really get to pick tight.
So Luminosity won the knife, and they've chosen CT. Is that a sign of maybe not wanting to start out having to make the plays, or they want to sit back, be a little calmer, or what do you think that indicates, really?
I guess it's one of those when you're an underdog team, you want to have a solid CT half, get really it is less of a thinking game in a way when you're CT, right? Yeah. It's more of hitting your shots, just playing solidly together, and it's probably going to be easier for them to just do that and try to get a big CT half here to put the pressure on Virtus Pro.
Well, Virtus Pro, let's see what they can bring. We are now moments away from getting the very first game here underway. The ESEA Pro League is about to kick off. And as said, it will be on the T side. Virtus Pro, you can see them there getting themselves ready, getting focused. No more, intense staring from Taz this time. It's all on that monitor. And on the other side, Luminosity Gaming. Going to be having to bring the NA flavor here. And well, I can't wait to see what they can do. We are live into this one. Let's turn our attentions into game. Luminosity on the left, Virtus Pro on the right. And the pistol round is started up. And what do you expect to see here from these boys?
Well, right now we're seeing Virtus Pro playing really, really slowly, approaching, taking over areas, going towards middle, where you only have Peter from LG, and he's going to be under tremendous pressure in just a moment. But decides to back off, which is good for him.
Yeah, smart move there from Peter, just the intuition maybe kicking in. The rest of Luminosity are vastly stacked towards B. Peter might just catch a glimpse of them on the cross, and he does. Great start for Peter there, finding Taz. But right now we're seeing Bialy on the bomb side itself. He has the bomb to hand, and the rest of Luminosity now going to have to try and come across and maybe play retake, but Pasha's taking his time. Virtus Pro is slowing this down. They've got the bomb down. Are they in a good spot here?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. The issue is, right now, Peter here is the biggest issue for Virtus Pro. But Pasha also flanking him.
Well, let's see if Peter can deal with this. If he can get Pasha out, he can maybe assist on the rest, because Nafly is going in right now. Bialy, Bialy comes up big. It's now a 2v1, and he would have had to have gone huge to deny that, but there we go. That's the pistol under control. Luminosity retaking the site pretty damn well.
Yeah.
And what really went on then? Because it looked like it was pretty solid, but then again, Pasha was pretty far back. Saw Snacks pretty far back as well. Was it just a little bit hit and miss there for Virtus Pro?
The biggest issue for Virtus Pro was Peter being alive as long as he was. He was the first guy getting in contact. It was there for all of the round. He got 3 kills, but the biggest thing really was the time he was able to be there as a distraction and really be a threat on that side.
Just keeping them distracted, keeping them busy, not able to kind of complete, I guess, towards that play on towards A. But once again, very decisive stuff going from Virtus Pro, it seems. They want to go for those Tech 9s, the smokes, the flashes. But Peter, again, in a great spot here. He can do some serious damage. He does get the first. And the rest of Luminosity, I guess, can start building across towards that A side.
Yeah, that's an interesting or a bad decision, I would say, from Luminosity to send Peter there alone instead of playing together with someone towards that side hall, because that was a lot of pressure put on one player. You're gonna know Virtus Pro is gonna buy on that second round, especially after a bomb plant like that. And yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, and Snacks is going to be making the play towards site. Look right now. Angus the one to stop Neo at least, but the push is happening towards site. 2 players now with the bomb going down. Bialy and Taz. Snacks still off of the back. This is going to be difficult for Luminosity. As Pith and Nafly going to have to try and work this one out. And there we go. There's the first nail of
Why would they send Peter out there alone and then have him stay there as long as he did? It's fine if you're there to gather some information, but then you back off. You have a guy rotate from B to A, and they're playing together. They're going to focus on either down middle or you're going to focus on side hall. But instead, Peter was alone. He got caught out. Then Anger was alone around that truck area. Also got caught off guard. And yeah, that was an open bomb side. Bomb going down. Virtus Pro capitalizing on those type of situations 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, Virtus Pro not going to look that sort of opportunity and turn it down. So Peter's in a good little spot here. Gets a little bit of information, but not going to be doing much with it. As Neo kind of predicting, knowing that there's not going to be a great deal of money on the CT side. And Pasha going to clean up this pretty easily. This should be a comfortable round, and you can see how cautious Virtus Pro are. They don't want to rush this one.
Yeah, they're just basically clearing areas. They're searching for the CTs and seeing what's going on here. And when they see the opening, when they see the numbers, then they're going to just commit themselves to a bomb side here. And it seems like it's going to be a B bomb side where bomb's going down. Alex and Anger alive here, just waiting to get some exit frags, hoping to grind up some money, which is not likely at this point.
Yeah, looking at the way Virtus Pro are playing at the moment, they are very cautious, very kind of refined in what they're doing. I see Bialy's probably the one slightly closer to maybe picking up a kill on the way out if Anger even pushes through to it.
Yeah, and the important thing here is for Virtus Pro to stay alive as many as possible as we see Anger there pick up Bialy, because the kills you give out on these kind of rounds is going to cost you later on in a half. That's one of the big things you got to realize, is that the less you die in these rounds is going to make it
second one and now the third after Luminosity did kick off with the opening pistol, but Looking at Luminosity here, what do they really have to work with? They've got not a great deal of money, so is this going to be another double eco coming in, or are they going to stack sites? What do you think is the best bet if you're coming up against a team who clearly has a lot more to work with? What would you be doing in their position?
I would just stack a site, just take a gamble.
Hope for the best.
Yeah, definitely. There's not a lot more that you can do there. And they are having 4 towards B, which is where Virtus Pro is going right now.
This could be a bloodbath, but no, Anger again hitting a fantastic shot towards Neo as Pasha and Snag start dealing with the threat that was piled up, and Nafly finds one as well. We're seeing these Deagles in play. Sadly not to the prowess throughout the regular season online that they were able to hit those shots, but picking up 2 kills. I doubt they'll get much more here. Peter would have to pull off a miracle to do anything against this, but Bomb is down. And we will see Snags close. So Virtus Pro doing what's necessary, not losing out on too many players, keeping that economy pretty strong here. And what now would we say? Have you learned anything in the way they're playing at the moment? Is it still, we haven't seen enough gun rounds, we haven't seen these guys going toe-to-toe yet?
So far it's been very straightforward. They've either just walked towards B or they've walked towards the A side hall and cleared areas, trying to get the first kill, get the entry, and capitalize on that. And probably going to see a lot of that. This is very simple.
Yeah, simple stuff might just be exactly what they need though, Virtus Pro, just keeping it clean, keeping it smart, and we're seeing pretty much Virtus Pro looking towards the B side initially. They did this before and then went on a swift old rotate straight towards A, but it looks like they might be committing here straight in towards drop. Pasha's there and there's no one to greet him, but Anger waits around the corner, gets the double. That smacks and Pasha down. Now the B play is just funneled in towards this platform area. Bialy's going looking. He knows there's one by the side, but Anger and Pi just locking this down perfectly. Taz now on his own does finally get into the action, but Taz and Neo are solo here.
Yeah, it's going to be super tough, and it's going to be a story of drop room here on this round, definitely. And Anger being the main man, taking the fourth there, and not giving any room for Virtus Pro.
Neo's the one stuck with the bomb, bearing in mind. He can't really just jump across the site. You've got Lex, Peter, Nafly watching this, and there we go. Peter denies Taz, and now it's all on Neo. He's just going to be maybe looking for something here. I don't think he's getting much. He does at least hop down, but there is Peter. First big gun round coming in for Luminosity, and really, the play coming out from Anger in drop was just perfect then to stop that play.
Yeah, that's what you need. Especially for a player like Anger who's had self-confidence issues in tournaments before. He needs to have these big rounds in the beginning. Winning those duels, getting those 2 kills, it's big and can really help you going further down the stretch. But at the same time, just look out for this. Drop room is a key part of this map, and if the CTs can really hold your teeth out of it, that's going to be a big, big plus for Luminosity.
Peter there taking a little bit of damage early. I think that was from Neo just through by mid, spamming away, maybe expecting a little something, and Virtus Pro slowing down a little, trying something new. I guess they haven't really tried much, as you said. They're still leaving this fairly up in the air.
Yep. They've making their way through the side hall, just clearing all the angles, waiting for someone to be aggressive down there.
Yeah, and it's Peter's actually holding it from backside. Lex a little closer up, and the Luminosity are making them come to them, They're not just challenging flat out. I think this is much better than Peter being pushed up pretty aggressively like before. So clearly kind of keeping this one smart. We're seeing the flash and smokes coming out. Virtus Pro starting to get some control. Yeah,
this is a position here where Lex is going to be on the hot seat soon because there's going to be a lot of action. 3 to 4 terrorists are looming his way.
Let's see what Lex has got. He's yet to make an impression into this game. He's been very quiet. He's just seen the AK though. Comes in the first, gets Snack, and Snacks goes down. But a 1-for-1 trade in that spot, is that worth it?
No, not really, to be honest with you. You should be able to get multiple kills from that spot and really have your teammate help you with flashes, and that didn't really happen on that round.
Yeah, slightly struggling there, bringing it down to a 3-on-3. We've got Taz, Neo, and Pasha still standing for Virtus Pro. They've got some control towards the site. Pasha's holding back, and Anger still doing what Anger does, getting these kills, but can they stop this round going Virtus Pro's way? Bomb goes down, Pasha watching the cross. This is going to be a tough retake for Luminosity.
Definitely, it favors the terrorists, for sure, other than the health of Neo, which is very low at this point.
Yeah, not much to work with though, and nice work from Pasha, giving away the spot, but now it is going to be Nafly being locked down by Pasha. Great work on the cross, just consistent play from the man on your screen. So all in all, what do we make of the performance so far? Because we've had a couple of gun runs now, we've seen what they bring to the plate.
They're looking solid. At the same time, Luminosity, I think their CT play, their positioning was fine there. The only thing is they were not helping each other out. They were leaving each other, playing alone against multiple terrorists instead of having a teammate. We were talking about this on the desk. You need to play together, have those key little plays to go in your favor, and that's the kind of thing they were faltering on that round on.
Yeah, Lex being picked up so early on, only getting that 1-for-1.
And no flash for him to help him out, for example.
Maybe the kind of factors of just a newer team almost going together, not quite having that yet. And Peter now last man standing up against Virtus.pro, who have a lot of guns with them, a lot of money, and I don't think Peter can... and Virtus.pro will pick up that 5-2. But what sort of scoreline will Virtus.pro be looking for here? If you're on the T side, you're the favorite coming into a match. What's a good scoreline for them to walk away with?
To win the half, to have
just to win it flat out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, have more than 7 rounds. That is
more than 7. So let's see if they can keep that up. I think that's a fairly achievable marker considering they're already on 5.
Yeah, it's more than likely they're going to achieve that at this rate.
It's looking pretty good for them. Peter there does get flashed out. He's going to back away. And it looks like Virtus.pro speeding up a little in this point. Pasha sitting further back, but you can see the damage coming in. And actually, Glass Cannon, Peter not doing the damage. It's Lex this time finding Neo and slowing it down. But already Virtus.pro are starting to gain ground. They pushed up pretty far. Lex is in trouble. He needs to get this one sorted. But no, Bialy denies him. And 1 by 1, Virtus.pro is starting to make some impact here, but Peter still stands tall with that orb. Gets the job done. Nice work towards Snacks, then just peeking around the corner. Spots out the next, but can Pasha halt the train? No. Anger's there, and a great round. Finally looking like they're actually helping each other out that time.
A bit more, yeah. That was all down to Peter. First of all, getting those kills, but second of all, again, delaying the attack as much as possible to give rotation time to come in and help him out. I don't think they were really helping out each other as much as they could have. I think they would be better off if they either push side all or either they push down middle, but they played it together instead of being in sort of a no man's land where a lot of things can go wrong. Peter was actually very, very close from being picked off there early on in the round.
Yeah, once again, being taken down to 28 HP so early into this is a little bit of an issue. And we are seeing a bit of a play towards B from Virtus.pro, bringing 4 players over towards this one. Just maybe looking for a chance here. And they haven't made a big B player in a little while. They've been testing out the A side, and Lex and Peter still over by A, not going to rotate just yet. And Neo's going to be having a little look, maybe see what he can find. But what do we expect from Virtus.pro this round? Just kind of go on those slower rotates. Is A the weakness here that you're seeing maybe?
So far, yeah. They haven't even had to contest B as much, really. They got denied there once, I think, and then the rest of it has been towards A more than not, and it's been working out well, unless Peter just goes wild.
Yeah, it's the Peter factor, and Lex sadly is being picked up a hell of a lot. That's going to open things up here for the one and only Virtus.pro, and Peter just going straight in, going for those big shots that just you're not going to get when Virtus.pro are playing like this. They don't allow that to happen.
Yeah, not every time we need to make a frag movie.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you can take a really solid kill, and it's going to be a kill just as much.
Yeah, maybe going for a little bit too much there, and Pasha showing him how it was done, then just playing a little calmer. Doesn't follow up with the kill there towards Nafly, and Nafly will get him down. But still, Anger and Nafly, the last 2 standing. I don't think they're going to get it even away with much in this one. The bomb is already down and ticking. And as you said, that A site is looking a little weak. Lex really is struggling to hold the push through there. What does he need to do? You said that maybe teammates helping him out would be an addition, but is there any other options for him?
I would think that's the only option, really, to play together with Peter, and not right now they're playing as 2 individuals. There's no coordination from what we can see. At least, and I really would like them to have a bit of a more aggressive setup towards the side hall and have control of that, since you can tell Virtus is playing that a lot. They've noticed it's a lot of space there. They've noticed there's space in the middle as well. So make them spend more time and spend more utilities coming in towards the side instead of giving them the opportunity to just walk up and then use their nades to whatever they please. So keep smoking down middle, maybe side hall as well, and just waste as much time as possible you can from Virtus.pro.
Well, Virtus.pro showing that, we've questioned their history, let's say, on this map a little bit recently, but not yet seeing the big challenge yet from Luminosity Gaming. They're not quite onto par with the other teams who've been able to claim victories against Virtus.pro on Cbble, but we've pointed out the issues. Maybe they'll be able to adjust them in time, but this is starting to look quite like the Virtus.pro show, as Neo will start slowly but surely leading through. He does have the bomb to hand, so fairly risky at this point, but then again, Luminosity do only have pistols. A Deagle, I believe, with Pit, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's unquestionable that NA has a lot of talent individually, but I think it's the big problem really is how they coordinate each other and the lack of thereof, which is a big part of all the issues that they have.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and we're seeing it very clearly here when a team can kind of notice those issues. Time and time again, we're seeing this play towards A, we're seeing them focusing towards this, and it's working out. Why would you change it if it hasn't even been tested really yet? Virtus.pro just dealing with Luminosity kindly. It's a little bit one-sided at the moment.
To be honest, I would, if I was Luminosity, I would take a timeout at this point and just really breathe for a second and think about, so, okay, what's happened so far? Where have they been able to take these rounds? What are they doing? How are they coming? You know, you don't even have to necessarily have the master answer to everything, but just to have the moment to not play and just think about what's been happening and then adjusting your play accordingly would really be good for them.
Yeah, I think they need to certainly think towards an addition of that. And, you know, you can see them picking up kills in the end. They're taking some guns away from Virtus.pro, but at this point, the money's pretty decent over on the Virtus.pro side. They're not too strapped for cash. We are going to see the buyback coming in for Luminosity Gaming. And I want to see them change it up on A now. I want to see them try and maybe help out Lex, put him in a different spot, maybe not play him down towards there. And we are seeing the slight early change, but normally we've seen Peter do this when he's had the AWP in hand. Currently not able to afford that.
Yeah, which is definitely an improvement from before.
Oh, but Taz and Snacks are certainly getting Luminosity's attention. Peter's actually started to rotate off the back of this, and now Lex is all alone by A. If Virtus.pro make the play towards A right now, they'll be against one player. You can see Snacks here just buying time, smoking out, not giving away the information. Peter's starting to maybe question where they're at. You can see him edging back in, and Lex still holding fine. It just...
Again, so spread out. They're very much spread out. Lex is just all alone here.
There's no trading going to come from this either. If he goes, as you said, get a glimpse of one, and tags up pretty well. I'm not sure who that was. It might have been Neo. I'm not too sure. No, it must have been Snacks or one of the others. As now Lex is in a really dire position. Once again alone, gets very little done. Pith on the other side of the map may have found Snacks, but already Virtus.pro are piling in towards this site. It's a 3v4 right now, and you're just seeing Peter trying to buy time. Can he find these shots? No, is the question. They seem so bullied at the moment, but Peter finally gets one back. Pyth comes in, and now 3v2. This is probably the best chance we've seen for Luminosity in a while, but Bialy now 1v2. Bomb to hand. And Anger's going to find him. Nicely done in the end. Then Luminosity seeming to get the players into position at the right time for once.
Yeah, and this time what Luminosity managed to do was just to waste past a minute from Virtus.pro before they could actually commit to a side. Virtus.pro was actually looking really good with their Molotoving side that made Peter move from his position, which was looking really good. But still, Luminosity was able to hold the fort.
Though Pyth has gone down, and great work from Bialy coming out as soon as he got that AK to hand. He certainly dealt with those two well. Peter, though, watching the push in, could do some damage, but we are seeing a bit of a change here. Finally some attention towards B from Virtus.pro. At the moment, it's kind of working out. Pasha's still lurking on the back. Neo starting to make a little bit of a play towards that platform. Neflight just not hitting these shots. It's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, and now A side is totally open. But it doesn't seem like Virtus.pro is realizing that, though.
They're going to pretty darn soon, and Neflight trying to hold on with every bit of utility he had, then switching up to the pistol, taking down Taz. But that bomb has been collected by Neo, and they're just going A. Yeah,
that's actually weird. I would have imagined that Pasha would have just ran towards A and check if it's clear. If he would have spotted one or two, he would have known how many players are actually playing B, and then they can make the decision based on that knowledge. But instead, he never even went on towards A. They didn't have that knowledge, and they went towards B, where all.
Swiftly, but Neo with the double comes in, denies any chance of Luminosity coming into that round and with the retake. But so far, I think we're just seeing, really, Virtus.pro are just overall performing a lot better right now.
Well, not 2-on-2. Neo getting that double kill.
Let's see what's in store right now. It's another stack. It's not going to go down.
Round out for Luminosity here. It's the thing is here. It's really hard for the CTs when the rounds go like this. When you win one, you keep losing the second one after.
Money's never going to be too strong.
No.
They're always going to be feeling this kind of pinch of pressure. And
Yep.
you can tell the Virtus.pro know this. They're reading the economy well. They've even got the SMGs out to play, just a Tech 9 with Taz. And just going to be picking up the damage. All right,
but at the same time, LG has been able to keep Virtus.pro really humble when it comes to economy, getting a lot of kills here on these save rounds.
Yeah, they certainly are. The bomb is down. 3 players still up for Luminosity, though, but 2 of the players left standing do have the bigger guns, the AKs to hand, and you're seeing them coming into place there. Bialy and Snack's going to find 2. Now on the fly, just the last man standing. I don't know if he's going to be able to get away with this one. He might do. I don't think anyone's chasing particularly, but all in all, Luminosity looking like they're being tested a little bit too much on the CT side, but we did say this was a T-sided map. You would be looking at, a stronger T-side result from the greater team, of course, but nice work from Defiant. As you said, keeping them humble in these rounds.
Yeah. I mean, in this matchup, I think either side Virtus.pro would have been on. Would be the stronger side.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
Fair, it is just the way it is. Virtus.pro is a more solid team. They have more to back it up with. And so far, that is proven to be right.
Yeah, sadly for Luminosity, easily read, and Virtus.pro relentlessly pressing on those issues. And we're once again seeing a bit of a play towards A. Lex and Peter this time pushing up a little more together, a little bit more in place, but they've also left A completely open, and Virtus.pro are just going to take that site happily. They're not going to mess around here. The rest of Luminosity are all on B, but Lex at least does find one from the back, so deals with that lurking maybe presence of Snacks then, but they're still locked out of this round, and they're going to be struggling here, but Virtus.pro starting to build up these kills.
Yeah, speaking of free straight-up plays, that was a definition of that. Just running up middle and happened to be clear. Just a pitch perfect call for Virtus.pro, getting a free bomb plan, and that's already Luminosity going down in numbers and deciding to save the weapons. Not entirely sure I agree with this. Well, obviously it's a really hard retake, but at the same time you're 4-9 down. All right, fair enough. You're banking on getting that 5th round. That's your ultimate goal. Then fair enough. But when you're this much down in this situation, I would.
Yeah, the read from Virtus.pro, those straight up mid, just bombed down and just getting the free sight. That must have been beautiful to walk into.
Yeah, I guess they felt like there was always going to be just one player holding that spot, like it's been so far. I figured it's going to be either a free kill or just walk up to a party.
Open invitation party. Anyway, let's see what Luminosity have this time. Can they finally stop Virtus.pro, who've been just pretty strong overall? They're not excelling anywhere particularly, but they're just better generally. I think that's the kind of factor of this one. And it looks like they're maybe going to be trying to look towards B early on. We've seen this from Virtus.pro before, though. They'll look towards B, put out some smokes, bringing Luminosity, and then slowly rotate back towards A. However, see if they're going to commit anything towards this one. Bomb is with them this time.
Yeah, it looks like they really want to have a play towards that drop area.
They've been fairly successful. Remember Bialy getting that double going straight in not too long ago. So.
Yeah, except for that one round when Anger got those 2 kills.
Yeah, let's see if he can do something similar, because he might have to. Bialy's starting to take control here. He's got himself in towards drop. He's in that closer rim pipe. Not aware of it. This could start hurting as Neo does find it on towards A, and once again, A is wide open. Bialy waits for the rotate perfectly, and Virtus.pro just showing real dominance. Napfly does okay, but that's almost on the wrong bomb site completely, and Anger now 1v2. He's got Neo already trying to claim that site. Snacks on the way with the bomb. What sort of chance does he have here?
Slim to none. It would have FAMAS.
Yeah, not in a great spot, especially when he just got tagged like that. Down to 16 HP. And well, there we go. Snacks puts him out of his misery more than anything.
That was a beautiful display of reactive Counter-Strike in that last round. We had Virtus.pro take over drop room, sort of have silently. Obviously, Luminosity had an idea there was going to be someone in there. And then you had Neo and another player going towards middle and trading kills, making LG start rotating, and that gave Bialy the free kill on Pyth, and then there was like a domino effect, and then a 2-on-1, and then you saw Virtus.pro win another round. So just perfect example of a team that plays with their instincts and know what kind of reaction they're going to be getting from doing certain things. Yeah,
it's brilliant to see just the intuition, as you said, that's just so clear with the Virtus.pro boys, but I believe the teams are ready. We'll be obviously switching side. 11-4 is the current scoreline. Luminosity really needing to step up here and really pull something out of the bag, otherwise they will be down and out so quickly. But still, Virtus.pro quite aggressive at the moment. Pasha pushing up with Snacks. And Pasha and Snacks will deliver. And is that a far better trade there? Getting a good couple of kills back-to-back, that looks so much better than maybe what Luminosity were able to achieve.
Yeah, definitely. It's you're outnumbered your opponent as well. So and they have both sides still under control. There's no gaps right now. So definitely favoring Virtus Pro so far.
Yeah, great start in this half for Virtus Pro already. 3v2 though, Nafly and Anger. Naf does at least have the Tech 9, Anger a little bit of armor as well. They could maybe forge something out of this, but...
I mean, if they can get the next kill, then there's a chance.
A slim chance.
No, but there's still a fair chance, to be honest with you.
All right, let's see what they've got. We've got Bialy going around the back, which is a big problem. We've got Neo and Taz both on A. And they're starting to spot these guys out. Anger may just have a very nasty surprise any second now. Bialy is creeping around the back. Nafly is edging in, but there we go. Bialy's taking down Anger. Nafly down to 3 HP, and that first kill was just not going to come through, and Taz closes it down. And just once again, overwhelmingly better play from Virtus Pro.
Yeah, and they just happen to have the way they stacked that mid just worked out a lot better than what Luminosity did all first half. So. Yeah, it's looking very grim for Luminosity. I think one flash, so they're really going a stretch here. I think they should just full bot and really try to surprise Virtus Pro at this point instead of going for this safer bet, you could say, because the situation is what it is.
Yeah, there's certainly no
you could take risks here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At this point,
there's no safe place.
No. So let's see what they've got in store.
Period.
Neo avoids the flash perfectly. And oh my word, this could be a disaster. If they push through towards him and he's ready for this one, this could be a lot of kills coming in. But Bialy's the one who's there first, and actually Anger does find Neo. But Bialy just catching Nafly hiding in the corner. And well, one by one, this is looking very one-sided. And it's just drips and drabs here. Anger's the last man standing and gain no ground. Virtus Pro just dominant.
Fair idea. That's a fair idea from Luminosity. Go drop room and then try to call a connector in A. But if you do that, you need to have more presence toward the middle to have a bit of a distraction toward another side of the map. They do not have that. They got shotgunned.
So basically what we're saying here is very simply, Virtus Pro are showing exactly what Luminosity did wrong almost when you saw the likes, I think it was Snacks and Pasha who were playing over by A when they pushed up a little more. You were showing what you can do when you trade in the correct manner, and we're going to see once again the display of Virtus Pro basically.
So this also is puzzling to me. Why are they sort of double saving here? Luminosity in this situation just makes absolutely zero sense to me.
It's kind of intriguing at this point. Bearing in mind the scoreline, what 4-13. What are they going to achieve from this? I'm not too sure. Maybe they've got a mysterious plan in mind, but we're certainly not seeing it. And with 4 rounds,
like you really have to have plays that you can do with lesser weapons or with lesser utilities. This does not indicate that LG does
more long-standing teams. They don't have that backbone to fall to. They don't have that kind of mixed buy coming in. They can't, do the UMP style coming out that we saw from 3D Max, for example.
Yeah, UMP for life.
For life. I'm hoping they can bring out something. We're seeing what they're powerful at and they like doing. There's those Juan Ds coming out to play, and it's all good and well. They've got now the B site. They've got the rotate coming through. And again, Pipe coming up big. This is great from Pit. He's actually doing pretty well here, but then again, there's still a hell of a lot of players in their way. They're outnumbered, outgunned, and surely this can only go on for so long. The Fly did get out into drop. Bomb is loose, and Snacks and Pasha are in a pretty good spot. It's going to be a tough one with 12 seconds left. Pasha locks it down calmly, and they get close, but then it just seems that Virtus Pro have that next gear to go to.
I mean, that was all just, I believe it was Snacks who pushed B and then got shot by Pith, and that just basically opened it up, and that's how it even came that close. It wouldn't have never happened if that push wouldn't have happened from the scene. So that's more VP giving Luminosity some free ground to work with than anything.
Yeah. Well, they could do with a little more of that maybe with 4 rounds so far. They certainly could do with some help, but once again, we're going straight through that smoke. Nades are kind of suspecting this quite possibly.
This is a
oh my word, that's a disaster.
That is a common play. Like a lot of teams, like let's say almost everyone on our T side cobblestone, that's what they try to achieve. They try to get that player on that B plateau and try to do some do some havoc from there. Meanwhile,
oh my God, is that Snacks right next? Oh
Yeah.
Jesus, this is disgraceful to watch. But Snacks making it look good. But as you said, it's something that clearly Virtus Pro are used to playing against,
Yeah,
and they're not going to get called out by it.
No, naded, Molotov down to 11 HP. Yeah, they were not caught off guard for sure.
Virtus Pro know what's up right now, and they're showing their power
Taz
in this
here
one.
in a prime position too.
With the P90 to boot. It's like the most BM kills coming in. We've got, the shotgun play earlier coming out from Snacks. Now we've got Taz with the P90. And this is the best thing the Luminosity have been able to scrape together on their T side. So if it's going to happen, it has to happen now. It's a 3v3. They've got 30 seconds to make this count. Bialy in a good position here, and you're seeing it pay off. Bialy finds a fly. Peter, though, does find Taz, so that's the bomb site a little more open, but Bialy still holds strong. And now it's just Peter, 1v2. Bearing in mind, this is a best of one. This will be done and dusted if he's not hitting these shots, and desperately needed more, and he's not going to get it.
What I, again, find puzzling is they Luminosity saved twice, and only to do a standard, like, default thing where you're just trying to pick and play instead of have strategy behind everything. As you can see, Luminosity here going for a pause, apparently.
Something you recommended probably on the other side?
That would have been 10 rounds ago. Yeah, it would have been a good idea. Right now, it's... Yeah, I think your ship has sailed now. I
think the ship's sinking at the point, let alone sailed, but,
yeah, quite possibly. But yeah, that's very interesting choice of what to do by Luminosity. Going for that double save in a situation where things are very dire to begin with, and then going for this kind of a decision where they just go for a sort of a default play strategy and a bigger thought behind it.
So maybe they just need to work on having these varied ideas, rather than, well, we've got our, eco play, we've got the Deagle, and then we have a full buy.
Yeah.
That literally seems like what they have. There's not much more to it, sadly, at least in that aspect, but they are still a new team. I guess we have to go back to that point. They're still a fairly new team. They may not have that deeper bag of tricks that they can go to like many of the other teams here, but still. Bearing in mind, this is one of the stronger maps if you want to go into that, if you want to see the head-to-head almost for Luminosity. It's still worrying that they only have 4 rounds.
Yeah, but they have a lot of individual skill. There's no denying that. There's so much skill. It is just about getting that skill play together as a one unit, and that's what they're lacking of, and that's their biggest issue. I'm hoping they can go back to this and learn from these kind of matches. And so maybe have someone help them with these kind of situations where, what are they lacking, and it is easily to be spotted what's lacking for them.
Right, so we are live now, so let's get back into the game. We are a couple of seconds in, but you missed nothing. And Luminosity going to have to force something together here. You're going to see the Scout coming in, see the Tech 9, the Galil out to play, and this is do or die. Virtus Pro looking like they want to collect on this nice, easy start for them. A smoother start, but Pasha takes a little bit of the start. So taking a little bit of damage, HP away, excuse me, but nothing too much done here. Luminosity seem very tentative, and it's fair to say as to why.
Yeah, definitely. For Virtus Pro, it's so far it's been a bit of a picnic here. Looking to close it out here on the 20th round of the match.
Yeah, they're not messing around, Virtus Pro. They've come in with a very clear factor in mind. And the big question was, is this the Virtus Pro that can go through to finals? But I don't think we've seen the biggest test to start with, if I'm completely honest. And, well, we're seeing the Fly getting to a wonderful position. I don't know how the hell he's got back here. He got through drop somehow, and now he's challenging out Snacks. And look at that. Peter managed to take down Pasha. Finding that little bit of difference, that little switch up may have helped, but for only so long, because there's still Snacks. There's still Neo. Bialy's in the right place at the right time. And one by one, Luminosity are going to be tested by some of the greatest. Fifth does at least take down Snacks. We're in the 3v3. Neo's pretty low, but Neo still gets the 1-for-1 exchange as Lex tries to get towards the side, but just messes up the shot. And there we get it. Bialy and Taz to close it down. And Virtus Pro starting strong.
Yeah, they were quite a few steps ahead of Luminosity in this match. There's no denying that. There's just no way going around it. They were more of a team. They were making decisive plays. They were hitting their shots. And Cbble, your prediction did not come true.
He was ambitious, He was ambitious.
Yeah.
Hopeful, wrong, I don't know.
Yeah, that's like, child Christmas, all the wishes come true kind of thing.
Bless him.
But
at least he
July.
tried. But it's July. What a way to sum it up. You're a harsh man. Harsh man. But still, you can see there, no hard feelings between the two. I think we can see a little better going down the line from Luminosity. I'm just hoping that they don't take this too harshly. I hope that they don't just spiral downwardly. As you said, individual skill aplenty, but beyond that, lacking a little more.
Yeah, scoreline is brutal. There's no way going around that. But the fact of the matter is, there were fundamental things that are fixable that could help him a tenfold. Like they could be so much better with certain structure and more coordination to what they're doing, how they're doing it.
I think that's a good summary of how we felt about the game, but let's head over to the analysis desk to see how humbled Devilvik is.
Thank you, Lauren. I think that's a nice way to summarize it, I think. 16-4, nothing much can be said about that scoreline, and the first person I'm going to prod is going to be Moses, because we went into this one, you said the only way Luminosity have this is if they start strong, and it could not have been any more opposite to that.
Well, actually, I mean, they
won, I guess Virtus basically won one round.
Controlled the economy.
Yeah, they
the
just controlled the economy and just crushed them after that.
Yeah, absolutely, and it goes back to just wanting to have that op in Peter's hands. And if you're gonna rely on those AWPs, you're gonna be forced into a lot of save rounds. And those are save rounds we don't see European teams do nearly that often. They're buying those, Tech 9s. That, even if it's just 1 or 2 AK-47s, they're gonna Tech 9, or they're gonna buy the 5.7s and maybe have a FAMAS, and they're gonna make that work.
Yeah.
And I mean, so there's not too much can be said for Luminosity's general play. It's already been highlighted that they are one of the stronger, if not the strongest individuals there. They're just not quite working together. But more so, we can look at how VP approached that attack. Was that VP's standard T side, or was that VP getting 5-6 rounds and then acting even more disrespectful? Like, it felt not disrespectful, but that no worries kind of style of play, I felt like was starting to make an appearance, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Snacks using the auto shotgun for for whatever reason he wanted to go with, and it paid off. He had some great kills, and he obviously showing the no respect fact is that in round 19 he pushed through the smoke at B platform, killed Anger, went back through. He did get picked off though through the smoke, but just kind of, like we said before, Snacks loves this chaos, loves to push through smokes, catches him off guard. And Anger, who was actually, I think you were saying, top fragging for Luminosity, that's got to really frustrate him to just kind of not expect someone to come through the smoke and take you down like that.
Frustrate him, but also that must be good for LG's promise in the next 3 games. One of the big points that was in our head-to-head was, Anger needs to perform as he does online, and surely top.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm. Yeah, let's go with that.
I mean, if you're gonna take a positive from that, it's great that Anger showed up moving forward into this tournament, into the next match. But I mean, there were some. They didn't. We talked about because of how explosive Virtus Pro is, that Luminosity was gonna have a great read on where they were going, and they never seemed to have a good read to cheat a player over.
I mean the thing is, it's so hard going at any point in time, and then just all 5 members are there. It's so explosive. So I think every round, I didn't even think maybe one round they had a lurker, but otherwise they were really pushing together and just exploding towards the site.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for kind of closing on Luminosity, my question to you guys is, what did Luminosity do wrong? Is it just the individual stuff? Didn't necessarily need to go for. That's just from what I was seeing.
I mean, I think the actual fault was A, their defense on A. They got picked off one-on-one a lot of times. You could see Lex way down middle, and Peter, he could stand almost on A side, and they had no synergy between the two, and that just made Virtus Pro get an.
When you're down that many rounds, that's when the players get a little bit less disciplined, and they're okay, we're down 9-3 or whatever X amount of rounds, and so we've got to make that hero play. We've got to do something to get them back into it. And Virtus Pro is not going to. Virtus Pro's not going to let that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's definitely certain. And I think what we have to say is that Jason has done a little bit of transformation, and we have Taz joining us at the desk. Welcome.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
How you doing, Taz?
Pleasure for me to be with you guys here.
Yeah, so
Nice to have you.
yeah, it's great to have you. And the first thing I'm going to start off with is you're looking incredible.
That's what I said to Lady.
Yeah?
She wanted to use something on me like powder, but I told her no.
Yeah. You
I look
you don't
incredible.
need it. That's just not how you roll.
I just want to thank my mother.
Is she over there?
I don't know, no. Probably, yes, she's watching.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, cool. So for you then, the first question has to be the veto. Let's start right at the beginning
Yeah.
because this one had the desk a little confused. Did you have a game plan for that veto or was that very relaxed?
I think we had a game plan, like Snacks and Cuban. Snacks is leading at the moment, so he had a plan, what we will play, what maps we prefer to play against them, and we were ready for maps like Cbble, for example. And it was like for us, it was strange because we had to choose between Overpass and Cobblestone, which Overpass obviously we prefer to play like most of the time because we just play it a lot better at the moment. And yeah, just Snacks that he prefers Cobblestone because he wants to, he's prepared on it.
Yeah, the thing I noticed was, or the thing I thought was a bit weird or strange with the veto process was that was it first banned Mirage?
You can't hear it?
Snacks? Snacks, can you hear me?
Well, from the
No,
screen,
my
it
com
looked
is not
like that.
working.
And
It's not responding,
it
sorry.
felt like if you actually vetoed like Dust 2, which you usually do first, maybe they would
Whoa, man, no, no,
veto
no. Dust
Mirage.
is our strong map now.
It is?
Ask Envy.
Okay.
TSM.
Oh, well.
Navi. Yeah. I
Things
go
have changed.
forward. Yeah.
Things have changed.
All right.
So you've talked about preparing for the veto. How much did you look into Luminosity? Did you feel like that was a team you needed to look into, or you felt like you could just play your game and get through it that way?
I think that what was good for us is Gfinity. We lost to Mousesports. We didn't look into them on the first day. We basically felt like, okay, everyone's writing. We are tier 1. Oh my God, this is so awesome feeling. Like we are the top dogs and we don't need to look down and watch other teams. But in Counter-Strike at the moment, we have like 15, 20 teams. You can always lose on a certain map. You need to be focused. Be prepared against any team you play, especially when you have 8 teams on this event. So it will be stupid to not prepare for each team, and that's why we are prepared for this.